Friends, if you want to watch super hit movie A Minecraft movie in English, then you must like this video. If you are visiting our channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. West Films Friends, in today's video, the movie we're going to talk about is called A Minecraft Movie. I'm also going to give you all the information on platform or on which satellite channel you will get to watch this movie. This video is produced by West Films. We will talk about what this movie is and where you can watch it, all the interesting facts about this movie in today's video. I'm going to tell you, apart from this, we will discuss about the facts of this film's storyline, star cast actors' performance in the film, and which character has played which role. We will also talk about the story of this film, and I will give you a small review of the story of this film. Also, we will talk in detail about the technical department, music department, pre-production, filming, post-production, budget, box office collection of this film. That's why I request you friends to watch this video till the ends. So let's start the video. A Minecraft Movie is a 2025 American fantasy adventure comedy film based on the 2011 video game Minecraft by Mojang Studios. It was directed by Hess and written by Chris Bowman, Hubbel Palmer, Neil Widener, Gavin James, and Chris Galetta, from a story by Allison, Schroeder, Bowman, and Palmer. The film stars Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Danielle Brooks, Emma Myers, and Sebastian Hansen. In the film, 4 misfits are pulled through a portal into a cubic world and must embark on a quest back to the real world with the help of an expert crafter named Steve. Plans for a Minecraft film adaptation originated in 2014 when game creator Marcus Persson revealed that Mojang was in talks with Warner Bros. Pictures to develop the project. Throughout its development, a Minecraft movie shifted between several directors, producers, and story drafts. By 2022, Legendary Entertainment became involved, and Hess was hired as director with Momoa in talks to star. Further casting took place from May 2023 to January 2024. Principal photography began later that month in New Zealand and concluded in April 2024. Mark Mothersbaugh composed the score, and Sony Pictures Imageworks, Weta FX, and Digital Domain provided the film's visual effects. A Minecraft Movie had its world premiere at Empire, Leicester Square in London on March 30th, 2025, and was theatrically released worldwide on April 4th. The film received mixed reviews from critics who praised the performances of the cast, though some were divided on its plot and faithfulness to the source material. It has grossed $336.1 million worldwide against a budget of $150 million, becoming the 4th highest grossing film of 2025 and the 10th highest grossing video game film of all time. Plot: struggling doorknob salesman Steve breaks into a mine to fulfill a childhood dream when he discovers the Orb of Dominance and the Earth Crystal. When combined, they create a portal that transports him to the overworld, a world where the terrain is made of easily manipulated cubes. He builds his own paradise and later stumbles across a portal to a hellish world called the Nether. He is imprisoned by Malgosha, the gold-obsessed piglin ruler of the Nether who hates creativity. Because the orb would allow her to control the overworld, Steve has his dog Dennis hide it and the crystal under his bed in the real world. Sometime later, 1980s video game champion Garrett, the garbage man Garrison, owns a failing video game store in Chuglass, Idaho. He heads to a storage auction to acquire items to sell for cash, ultimately winning the contents of Steve's old house. While searching through the items, particularly hoping to find an Atari Cosmos, he instead finds Steve's old belongings, including the Orb of Dominance and the Earth Crystal. Siblings: Henry and Natalie move to Chuglass following their mother's death. The two meet Dawn, their real estate agent who wants to open a petting zoo. On Henry's first day of school, he gets in trouble when his makeshift jetpack malfunctions and destroys a mascot statue. To avoid trouble, he pretends that Garrett is his uncle, who takes him to the video game store to discuss his options. There, Henry combines the orb and crystal, leading the two to the mine. Natalie is worried and calls Dawn, who accesses Henry's location via Natalie's phone. All 4 of them ultimately enter the portal and arrive in the overworld. Malgosha is alerted that the orb has returned. She releases Steve from his prison in the Nether to reclaim it, bluffing that she holds Dennis hostage. While fighting off monsters at night, Henry learns how to build and makes a wooden fortress. The Earth crystal is destroyed in the commotion. Steve appears at dawn and defeats the monsters. He says that a replacement crystal will be needed from the Woodland Mansion. To prepare, he leads them to a nearby village and shows them how to craft. However, piglins launch a raid on the village. Steve, Garrett, and Henry narrowly escape, but Natalie and Dawn are separated and discover Dennis. Malgasha responds by sending out the Great Hog. When Steve mentions that he has a large hoard of diamonds, Garrett becomes interested and demands access as an added condition of handing over the orb. They find the hoard, but Henry is angered by the detour and worries about Natalie's safety. When the Great Hog arrives, they flee using minecarts, and the hog is blown up by creepers. Arriving at the mansion, Steve and Garrett attempt to distract the inhabitant pillagers, while Henry acquires both the Earth Crystal and an Ender Pearl, which can facilitate one teleport. Malgasha returns and blows up the bridge to the mansion. Steve and Henry lose the orb, but escape as Garrett seemingly sacrifices himself in the blast. The two awaken with Dawn, Natalie, and Dennis in a mushroom house they built. Malgasha uses the orb to superpower the Nether portal, blotting out the sun and declaring war on the overworld. The party crafts an arsenal of weapons and an army of iron golems that meet the invading force. Henry uses the Ender Pearl to obtain the crystal, restoring the sunlight and causing Malgasha and her army to zombify and die. The party, including Garrett, who survived the explosion, returns to Chuglass, where they create the successful video game Block City Battle Buddies. Dawn opens her zoo with Dennis as an attraction, Natalie begins teaching self-defense classes, Henry completes his jetpack, and Garrett operates the game store with Steve. Cast Jack Black as Steve, a former doorknob salesman who has spent years living in the overworld. Jason Momoa as Garrett, the Garbage Man Garrison, a video game store owner and former game champion. Emma Myers as Natalie, Henry's older sister and legal guardian. Danielle Brooks as Dawn, a real estate agent who runs a mobile petting zoo. Sebastian Hansen as Henry, Natalie's creative younger brother. Jennifer Coolidge as Vice Principal Marlene, the Vice Principal of Henry's school. Rachel House as the voice of Malgasha, the piglin ruler of the Nether. Jermaine Clement as Daryl, an auctioneer. Bruce, Malgasha's father. Jared Hess as the voice of General Chungus, a high-ranking piglin in Malgasha's army. Matt Berry as the voice of Nitwit, a jobless villager. YouTubers Dan TDM, Afmau, Mumbo Jumbo, and LD Shadow Lady make cameos as themselves in the film. Jens Bergensten, who serves as one of the lead designers for Minecraft, makes a cameo appearance as a waiter. A pig wearing a crown appears in the film as a tribute to the deceased YouTuber Technoblade. In the film's post-credit scenes, Kate McKinnon makes an uncredited cameo in a post-credit scene as Alex, a woman who has been living in Steve's house. McKinnon provides the voice, while Alice May Connolly serves as the physical actor. Production. Background. Following a series of offers from Hollywood producers to create a Minecraft-related television series and a crowdfunding campaign for a fan film that was shut down by Minecraft creator Marcus Notch Persson revealed that Mojang Studios was in talks with Warner Bros. Pictures to develop an official Minecraft film in February 2014. Later in October, Mojang CCO Vu Bui stated that the movie was early in development and would be a large-budget production. He also said that the film might not be released until at least 2018. Originally, Roy Lee and Jill Messick were set to produce the project. That same month, Warner Bros. Hired Sean Levy to direct the film, though he and writers Kieran and Michelle Mulroney, who were developing the film together, left the project by December. By July 2015, Warner Bros. Hired Rob McElhenney to direct the film. He said that he had been drawn to the film based on the open-world nature of the game, an idea Warner Bros. Had initially agreed with and for which they had provided him with a preliminary $150 million budget. Early production started in 2016, and an initial release date was announced for May 24, 2019. Jason Fuchs was set to write the script of the film, and Steve Carell was going to star as the voice of an unknown character. However, by late 2016, McElhenney's Minecraft film slowly died on the vine. After studio executive Greg Silverman's departure from Warner Bros. In late 2016. Aaron and Adam Nee were tapped to rewrite the script, and the film was delayed as a result. No new director was announced at that time. By January 2019, Peter Sollett was announced to write and direct the film, which would feature an entirely different story from McElhenney's version. Messick, who died in 2018, was posthumously credited as producer. The original vision Sollett had for the film involved a teenage girl and her unlikely group of adventurers as they set out on a quest to defeat the Ender Dragon, the final boss of the original Minecraft game. The film was later given a new release date of March 4th, 2022. In June 2019, Allison Schroeder was hired to write the script and co-write the story with Sollett. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Warner Bros. Was forced to adjust its release schedule, which included removing the Minecraft film from its planned release date. In April 2022, production on the Minecraft film was announced to be moving forward without Sollett and Schroeder, with Jared Hess now set to direct. Legendary Entertainment to co-produce through its executive Mary Parent, and Jason Momoa in early talks to star. The film was also confirmed to be live action. It was also reported that Chris Bowman and Hubbel Palmer, who collaborated with Hess on Masterminds 2016, would rewrite the script. Development. Hess's involvement in the film began after a separate project he was developing with Legendary never materialized, and he was involved by the studio to pitch a take for the Minecraft adaptation. He later stated that he enjoyed trying to adapt something that doesn't have a story. It's an open sandbox game, and hoped to find an opportunity for a fun, ridiculous movie. The film's final writing credits went to Chris Bowman, Hubbel Palmer, Neil Widener, Gavin James, and Chris Galletta, who wrote the film from a story by Allison Schroeder, Bowman, and Palmer. Off-screen additional literary material credit was given to Hess, McElhenney, Fuchs, Megan Amram, Kevin Beagle, John Francis Daly, Dana Fox, Hannah Friedman, Jonathan Goldstein, Phil Augusta Jackson, Lauren Kahn, Kieran Mulroney, Michelle Mulroney, Aaron Nee, Adam Nee, Zach Penn, Simon Rich, Peter Sollett, Laura Steinel, John Spites, Oren Uziel, and Ben Wexler. While adapting Minecraft into a film, the production crew aimed to make sure that the objects present in the film were faithful to the game, made up only of cubes. This included everything from trees to fruit. Several YouTubers and members of the Minecraft community were present during the production of the film, with YouTuber Mumbo Jumbo contributing towards designing some of the props. Additionally, the game's co-creator Jens Bergensten was present during production and worked with the crew. When writing and directing the film, the team opted to make a story based on Minecraft, rather than making an official canon story, which they viewed as in line with Minecraft's nature as a sandbox game that lets players create their own stories. As such, the film was titled A Minecraft Movie, rather than The Minecraft Movie. This also applied to the film's depiction of one of Minecraft's characters, Steve, which the production crew described as Jack Black's version of the character that was not meant to represent the Steve present in Minecraft. James Thomas served as the film's editor. While a Minecraft movie is predominantly a live-action film, it uses a heavy amount of CGI to simulate the terrain, animals, monsters, Ely. Visual effects for the film were provided by Sony Pictures Imageworks, Weta FX, and Digital Domain, with Dan Lemon serving as visual effects supervisor. Casting. Around the same time that Hess was announced to direct the film, it was also stated that Momoa would star in the film. In May 2023, Matt Berry entered negotiations to join the cast, while Danielle Brooks and Sebastian Eugene Hansen joined the cast in November, and Emma Myers joined the cast in December. January 2024, Black joined the cast, teasing his casting in the film via his official Instagram account. Originally, Black was set to only appear as a cameo in the form of a talking pig before he was cast as Steve. According to producer Torfi Frans Olafsson, Black's depiction of Steve was specific to him. At the same time as Black's casting, Jennifer Coolidge, Kate McKinnon, and Jermaine Clement were also cast in at the time undisclosed roles. YouTuber Valkyrae was originally set to appear in the film, but was removed after she openly criticized Momoa, accusing him of mistreating the cast and production crew. Filming. Principal photography for a Minecraft movie began in January 2024 near Auckland and concluded by April of that year. Scenes set in the fictional town of Chuglass, Idaho, were filmed in Huntley. Originally, filming was going to begin in August 2023, but was delayed due to the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike. Grant Major served as the production designer and Enrique Chediak served as the cinematographer. Music. Main article, a Minecraft movie. Mark Mothersbaugh composed the original score, while Gabe Hilfer and Karen Rackman serve as music supervisors. Mothersbaugh incorporated nods to the music of the game by C418 and said that the score was meant to balance the charm of the characters with the action, while retaining a depth and emotional resonance. From the Minecraft soundtrack, C418's title track plays during the opening credits, and his song, Dragonfish, plays during a scene with pandas. Lena Raine's track, Pig Step, features during the Nether's Got Talent sequence. 65. It was written by Black and features Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl on drums, Queens of the Stone Age guitarist Troy Van Leeuwen, Jellyfish keyboardist Roger Joseph Manning Jr., and Mark Ronson on both rhythm guitar and bass. Brooks also provides backup vocals. The song was released as a single prior to the release of the film on March 20th, 2025. Mothersbaugh's score, along with original songs by Beni, Dayglow, and Dirty Honey, was released digitally on March 28th. The film also features an instrumental rendition of Depeche Mode's Just Can't Get Enough, performed by Jamieson Shaw. Marketing and release. The film's first teaser trailer, set to the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour, was released on September 4th, 2024. Audience reactions to the teaser were noted as divided or generally negative, with criticism for the CGI, design, and live-action nature of the film. Andrew Webster of The Verge said that besides its unsettling imagery, it looks like some silly family fun. Tom Power of Tech Radar could not decide whether it was drop-dead gorgeous or the stuff of nightmares. Marcus Persson, the creator of Minecraft, praised the trailer on Twitter, saying, "Okay, I'm in wow. This is a weird feeling." Various clips and images from the trailer, such as the designs of a bleeding pink sheep and a white llama, and Jack Black saying, "I am Steve," were ridiculed by online commenters. A second trailer, set to MGMT's Time to Pretend, was released on November 19th to a more positive response from many viewers. A final trailer for the film was released on February 27th, and a final teaser for the film was released on March 27th. A few days before the film's release, a work print version featuring incomplete visual effects and CGI, missing credits, and significant chroma key masking errors was leaked onto various piracy websites and spread on social media platforms such as Twitter. A Minecraft movie had its official premiere at the Leicester Square in London, United Kingdom, on March 30th, 2025, and was released theatrically in IMAX in the United States by Warner Bros. Pictures on April 4th. Upon the film's release in theaters, a trend was noted where during certain scenes of the film, particularly those where Black would name-drop something from Minecraft, e.g., Chicken Jockey, I am Steve, audiences would have over-exaggerated reactions, including clapping, cheering, screaming, standing ovations, or even throwing food and drinks at the screen. The viral nature of these reactions online fueled the trend and encouraged others to imitate or outdo the disruptions, prompting several theaters to issue warnings, institute a zero-tolerance policy on such behavior, or even get authorities involved. The release of the film coincided with Mojang's collaboration with various brands to create promotional products for the film, including action figures of the characters, Creeper Green vanilla milk from TrueMoo, and special Happy Meals offered by McDonald's. The unusual nature of these products, such as the uncanny appearance of the Jack Black action figure, garnered both attention and some criticism, though the Nether Flame Sauce hot dipping sauce from the McDonald's promotion was lauded for its spice and suitability with Chicken McNuggets. Reception. Box office. As of April 8, 2025, a Minecraft movie has grossed $185.4 million in the United States and Canada and $150.7 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $336.1 million. In the United States and Canada, a Minecraft movie was released alongside Hell of a Summer, and was initially projected to gross $65–70 million from 4,263 theaters in its opening weekend, with some estimates going as high as $80 million. It made $10.6 million from Thursday night previews, topping Five Nights at Freddy's' $10.3 million for best total by a video game adaptation, and increasing weekend projections to $80–100 million. After making $58 million on its first day, including previews, estimates were again revised to $135–150 million. It ended up debuting with over $163 million domestically and $313 million globally on its opening weekend, surpassing the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which also featured Black as the highest-grossing opening weekend for a movie based on a video game. Critical response. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 48% of 139 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 5.110. The website's consensus reads, ostensibly a film about celebrating creativity, a Minecraft movie provides a colorful sandbox for Jack Black and Jason Momoa to amusingly romp around in a story curiously constructed from conventional building blocks. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 47 out of 100, based on 37 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Audience reactions to the film were more positive in comparison to critics. CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B+ on an A+ to F scale, while 67% of those surveyed by PostTrack said they would definitely recommend the film. Kids under the age of 12 gave the film an average rating of 5 out of 5 stars, while parents gave an average of 4.5 out of 5 stars. Critics were divided on the film's plot and whether or not a Minecraft movie was a faithful adaptation of the game, as well as if it made sense to viewers unfamiliar with it. Lovia Gyarkie of The Hollywood Reporter and Jesse Hassinger of IGN both believed that the film's plot was confusing. Gyarkie felt that it struggled to maintain a balance between appeasing the Minecraft fandom and writing a film that made sense to a general audience. And Hassinger said that the film was conceptually muddy and confusingly and erratically presented. Mark Kennedy of the Associated Press believed that the film would likely make no sense to a viewer unfamiliar with the source material, but still believed that it was a faithful adaptation. However, he did highlight the films featuring concepts not present within the game itself to enable plot progression. Contrarily, Liz Shannon Miller of Consequence believed that the plot was fully comprehensible to someone unfamiliar with the game. Some reviewers viewed the fan service present within the film positively, particularly highlighting the tribute to Technoblade. The performances of the cast were praised. Many viewed their performances as helping alleviate or distract any problems present within the film's plot. Black and Momoa, in particular, received a lot of praise. Miller and Jordan Hoffman of Entertainment Weekly both felt that the story was not the main priority of the film and could be ignored in favor of the performance of the actors, the former believing that the film was mainly made with the intent of having fun. However, some viewed that the characters, despite the performances of their actors, were generally underdeveloped. The subplot involving Coolidge's character dating a villager, while viewed as generally unnecessary or relatively thin in terms of character development, was subject to considerable praise. Some reviewers questioned the purpose or value of the film, with some viewing it as nothing more than a product with the intent of promoting Minecraft. Both Kevin Marr of The Times and David Fear of Rolling Stone likened the film to a corporate cash grab, viewing it as existing with the sole purpose of promoting the Minecraft brand and offering nothing else of value. Maher further viewed the film as lacking a level of versatility present in other video game adaptations, while Fear believed that the film was intentionally confusing so that it would stay in the minds of people longer and therefore encourage them to purchase merchandise. While Clarice Luffrey of The Independent believed that the idea behind a live-action Minecraft adaptation was fundamentally flawed and destroyed the spirit of the source material. She felt that the film had genuine intent and was not like other adaptations that she viewed as existing solely for the sake of profit. Possible sequel. Talks for a potential sequel to the film began a few days after the film's release. Hess has expressed interest in making a sequel, noting the world's use of infinite mods, characters, and biomes, outlining how Minecraft is virtually endless. He later stated that there were many ideas they had for the film that they were unable to use but would likely be included as part of a sequel. A Minecraft movie review. It's a curious choice of title. A Minecraft movie implies that this cynical intellectual property rinsing exercise is one of numerous film adaptations of the enduringly popular sandbox video game. Perhaps there's an alternative out there, a sharper, smarter, funnier version of a Minecraft movie, one with actual jokes. Or, God forbid, there may even be a worse iteration, although that's hard to imagine. What becomes clear is that one of the key elements in the game's popularity, the latitude it affords gamers to create their own experience, is a big stumbling block for any film adaptation of Minecraft. In the absence of a single fixed storyline the screenplay can follow, a Minecraft movie has a cobbled-together feel, borrowing a device from Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and in Jack Black, A Star, and superimposing an all-purpose quest for an artifact structure onto a color-saturated backdrop of cube-shaped vegetation, pink sheep, and lax building regulations. Directed by Napoleon Dynamite filmmaker Jared Hess, delivering a watered-down version of the nerdcore quirkiness of his Gentleman Broncos-era work, the picture follows four misfits: orphan siblings Henry, Sebastian Hansen, and his older sister Natalie, Emma Myers; Dawn, Danielle Brooks, an estate agent with a mobile zoo; and debt-ridden Garrett, Jason Momoa, an arcade game champion whose glory days are long past. The four are sucked through a portal to the overworld, where they meet Steve, Black, in Minecraft, one of the main playable characters. In the film, a purveyor of exposition and overacting. The villain, a piglin called Malgasha who hates creativity and is obsessed with hoarding wealth, provides an inadvertently neat allegory for the studio bosses who greenlit this egregious IP cash-in. How do you turn a game about the individual art of creation into the inherently passive experience of film watching? It's a challenge that the writers and director of a Minecraft movie rise to admirably enough. Call it lowered expectation, but it's a wannabe blockbuster that falls short of its potential while also rising well above similar fare, which put almost no effort into their production outside of hitting enough references to satisfy a loyal fan base. A Minecraft movie is quirky and goofy enough to make one wish it held together better overall, but it's also a likable venture, a movie that pushes through its cravenly capitalistic reason for existence, flavoring its content with enough personality to keep even the few remaining souls who have never played Minecraft engaged. A Minecraft movie opens with an exposition dump that's so long that you'll start to worry that this is a sequel to a movie you somehow missed. Steve, Jack Black, doing very Jack Black stuff, was a kid who loved to explore, and after stumbling on a glowing blue cube in a mine, was transported to a magical place called the Overworld. There, Steve discovered that he could turn his imagination into reality, building structures across this block-based landscape. With his trusty wolf dog Dennis, Steve found his bliss, but that was shattered when he was sucked into the Netherworld, a vicious place run by a malformed pig named Malgosha, Rachel House, who rules this hellscape with an army of loyal porcine creatures. It's probably reading way too much into a Minecraft movie to say it's a commentary on how capitalist pigs can deform creative passion, but that's perhaps how Roger Waters would read it. When Steve gets stuck in the Netherworld, Dennis races back to the real world and hides the cube under Steve's bed. Years later, the cube is in a storage unit bought by an aging gamer named Garrett, the Garbage Man Garrison, Jason Momoa, a past-his-prime local legend struggling to make ends meet at his nostalgia-driven game toy shop. Echoes of Billy Mitchell from The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters feel intentional. One day, Garrison meets the new kid in town, an inventive teen named Henry, Sebastian Hansen, who has moved to the area with his sister Natalie, Emma Myers, after a death in the family. They discover what the cube can do just in time to get sucked into the overworld, along with a local realtor/zookeeper named Dawn, Danielle Brooks. Can Steve, Garrett, Henry, Natalie, and Dawn stop Malgasha before her quest for dominance takes over multiple planes of video game existence? While I'm not the biggest fan of Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, a Minecraft movie works best in those moments that you realize it was directed by the same person, Jared Hess. His eye shows flashes of personality that are often missing from video game movies aimed primarily at children. Scenes in which Black leans into his goofy persona or Momoa allows himself to be the butt of the joke work more often than not. I'll take a movie that misses trying to do some weird stuff over those that don't try at all. It helps the general tenor of a film like this when it feels like the people involved aren't just going through the motions. Turns out a movie like this could use a bit of Nacho Libre flair to spice up what unfolds. Now, what unfolds is some nonsense. There's a point around halfway through when it becomes clear that Henry is the real hero of this piece. I had a flashback to The Last Starfighter, another tale of an outcast who discovers that a video game world is real and that he can save it. At its best, a Minecraft movie reflects the same idea, that video games aren't things that dull the senses, but rather give creative people a chance to express themselves and maybe even be a hero. Sadly, a lot of the plotting and associated themes get severely muddled in the back half, where the 5 screenplay credits start to make a little more sense. Despite a few fun set pieces, a Minecraft movie becomes increasingly monotonous and loses its appeal, making it harder to care about what little plot there is. One might argue that you shouldn't come to a Minecraft movie for the storytelling. It's based on a game that responds to what you bring to it, with some people building entire cities, or all of Game of Thrones, in the in-game world, while others are happy defending their little huts from zombies on coffee breaks. The limitless creativity inherent in the game hasn't been fully replicated in the movie, which is designed to expand its brand dominance. However, there's just enough inspired heroism in this flick to make people who put the game down years ago circle back to it and build something new. A video game movie that encourages creation instead of just uplifting capitalism? That's a small victory in 2025. The age of clunky, amped up, zoned out, overly literal movies adapted from video games lasted a long time, from the very first one, Super Mario Bros. In 1993, stretching on through such duds as Mortal Kombat and Blood Rain and Max Payne and, sorry fans, the Resident Evil series and the grandiose liquid sludge of Assassin's Creed, and just last year, Borderlands. So in a way, that era didn't end. The potential to turn a video game into a bad movie never goes away. Why would it? Video games are the anti-movies. They have characters and worlds and narratives and action and fantasy and spectacle, but they're ultimately a post-psychological form for a post-psychological age. They lack the heartbeat that good movies have. Over the years, though, lessons have been learned. Overtly pandering strategies have been abandoned. Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One, while not based on a video game, had the visual wizardry to put you right in the gamer's seat. And 2 years ago, offering a bookend to a form that had kicked off so wrongly, the Super Mario Bros. Movie was pure mutating eyeball-tickling fun. A fantastic video game movie that was also a nicely rounded kid's fairy tale. It demonstrated that animation was probably always going to be the key to bringing video games to life on screen. It hit the dazzle and emotion sweet spot, and it set the bar. A Minecraft movie isn't nearly as good as the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's not even as good as Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which, given the latter's 50-year-old pedigree, might be described as the analog version of a video game movie. A Minecraft movie is just a flaky, spirited, low hijinks quest comedy that plops a crew of actors down into the overworld, the epicenter of the Minecraft universe, where they've arrived by coming through a portal that looks like it's made of pulsating blue slime. It's very 1980s, that portal, and the whole movie has a retro cheeseball flavor, even though Minecraft wasn't created until 2011. At first, we register how hard the actors are working to make it all look like a breezy, screw-loose adventure. Whatever your feelings about Jack Black, I'm mostly a superfan, no one can ever say that he phones it in. He's 55 now, with a gray-white beard as big and boisterous as the rest of him, And though he might strike you as a little long in the tooth to still be doing his Happy Days stoner line readings, he invests them with so much conviction. In a Minecraft movie, he simply will not deliver a line of dialogue straight, that he spikes the film right along. He plays Steve, who always yearned to be a miner and wound up falling in love with the overworld, a place where you can literally create anything that pops into your head, even though it will always come out as the cubic version of itself. The place is a surrealist Lord of the Rings alt-world paradise that's also as angular in its billowy way as the world of Lego, because it's made of voxels, which is Minecraft's fancy word for blocks. In the overworld, there are blockish snow-capped mountains, blockish bumblebees, blockish pink sheep, blockish shrubs and trees, blockish flowers, blockish ducks, a blockish wolf, blockish skeleton archer warriors, blockish baby Frankenstein zombies, a whole army of them, blockish buildings that look like gingerbread houses gone brutalist. And in the underworld known as the Nether, blockish pigs, who have blockish bore incisors and are done up in a way that suggests a Mad Max biker horde meets the Dark Crystal, all of them slaves to Malgasha, Rachel House, the evil British swine queen, who has kept Steve imprisoned in a dungeon. Minecraft, in real life, is what's known as a sandbox game. Like Roblox, it creates a place for the player to invent things as much as it offers a goal of victory. And so the challenge of making a movie out of Minecraft is, how do you create a story we have a stake in if the whole point of the world is simply to hang out in it? The producers of a Minecraft movie attempted to resolve this dilemma by handing the assignment of directing the film to Jared Hess, who is still best known for Napoleon Dynamite, 2004. He has had a few quirky indie follow-up films and has worked in television, but watching a self-consciously absurdist filmmaker like Hess take control of a blockbuster monster machine like Minecraft made me think, at moments, of episode 1 of The Studio, in which the hip director Nicholas Stoller is recruited to somehow create a movie out of the Kool-Aid franchise. Watching a Minecraft movie, we're always aware that the story is something that's been grafted onto the world and that we don't have much of a dramatic stake in it, that it's just the film's way of cobbling together something that works, which, in its way, is very Minecraft. Yet Hess brings something likable to a Minecraft movie. He's a genial camp satirist who knows how to invest not taking anything seriously with a flaked-out conviction. A Minecraft movie never stops goofing on itself, and that's appealing. As a movie star, Jack Black had a hand in inventing this school of air-quote daffiness. But the surprise of a Minecraft movie is how much Jason Momoa gets onto the self-skewering doofus kitsch wavelength. He plays Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, who was a video game champion in 1989 and now runs a corner store called Game Over World. It's stuffed with old video screens and vintage gamer knickknacks, which is teetering toward bankruptcy. Garrett is a relic, maybe a cliche, but I was amazed at how much Momoa, in a pink fringe jacket and heavy metal locks, sinks into Garrett's blissed-out cluelessness, his bedazzled narcissism hanging by a thread of desperate cool. Garrett and Steve may be overly similar personality types, but that's what makes the movie click. The way they mesh and fight like rival dude brothers. And the plot? Do I have to go there? There's a glowing blue orb, the Orb of Dominance, which fits into a box known as the Earth Crystal. Plopping one of these things into the other in a kind of Avengers on Happy Pills way will allow the characters to defeat the pig demons and also to return to Earth. They already have the orb in their possession. They need to journey to the Woodland Mansion to retrieve the crystal. There is, of course, a crafting table in which objects, or metal pieces, are placed on it and you bonk them with a hammer and voila! They turn, with medieval alchemy, into a brand new object, often a weapon. As fun as these scenes are, the film could have done more with the mutating magic of it all. That's where you wish Jared Hess were less of a comedian and more of a technological showman. There are 2 teenagers on hand, Henry Sebastian Hansen and Natalie Emma Myers, an orphan brother and sister who, despite their prominence, don't have much heft as characters. And there's a fish-out-of-water subplot in which one of the overworld's blockish, pacifist vegetarian monks, a silent dude with a monobrow, winds up traveling through the portal, landing on Earth, and going on a date with Vice Principal Marlene, played by Jennifer Coolidge with her over-the-top diva broadness. Some of this is amusing, but like the rest of a Minecraft movie, it never feels like it matters. Yet it's no insult to say that, in this case, that may be more true than not to the spirit of a video game that turns life into a blockhead version of itself. Minecraft became a really big deal when I was in 7th grade, so obviously, I have quite a bit of experience with the game. I'd be mowing down zombies with my diamond sword while dodging creepers, all while I had Napoleon Dynamite on in the background. Little did I know that the man who directed my favorite comedy at the time, Jared Hess, would go on to direct a big-screen adaptation of Minecraft nearly a decade and a half later. The Swedish video game, which launched in 2011, has become the best-selling video game of all time. A movie adaptation was inevitable, and after spending the last 10 years languishing in development hell, with directors ranging from Rob McElhenney and Sean Levy being attached at certain points, it's finally here. The thing is, Minecraft doesn't have a plot. It's an open-world game where the possibilities are endless, which Jack Black Steve notes in the film. With a blocky design, the game has players building, mining, crafting, and fighting mobs such as zombies, creepers, skeletons, spiders, and endermen. When the first teaser trailer dropped for a Minecraft movie back in September, it was met with a lot of scrutiny online. The movie's visual effects leaned into uncanny valley territory, and the bizarre inclusion of a classic Beatles song made it feel even more like a fever dream. There have been hundreds of Minecraft animations posted on YouTube over the years, so why not just make the movie animated? Regardless, the movie is finally here, and it's surprisingly tolerable. Unlike the video game, a Minecraft movie does actually have a story, so it's already straying away from the source material, at least a little bit, as the plot is about as generic as they come. We open with narration from Steve, Black, who has yearned to explore the mines of his hometown in Idaho since he was a young boy. After becoming an adult, Steve became fed up and bored by his job as a doorknob salesman. Feeling inspired, Steve travels back to the mines of his youth and to the overworld, a colorful cube-filled world filled with adventure. Steve has made himself quite comfortable in the overworld. He even has a pet wolf named Dennis, but his wondrous new life is threatened when he and his beloved Pooch are kidnapped by the evil piglin sorceress Malgasha, Rachel House, and sent to a dungeon in the Nether, a hell-like underworld. Sometime later, young Henry, Sebastian Hansen, and his sister Natalie, Emma Myers, have moved into Steve's old hometown after their mother's passing. While creatively gifted, Henry fails to make any new friends outside the well past his prime Garrett, the garbage man Garrison, Jason Momoa, a former pro gamer who is struggling with financial woes, including being on the verge of his shop being shut down and being ripped off at a storage locker auction. After Garrett acquires a mysterious glowing cube, he, Henry, Natalie, and the animal-loving real estate agent Dawn, Danielle Brooks, are transported into the overworld where they finally meet Steve. Together, this band of misfits may just have what it takes to take down Malgasha once and for all. Meanwhile, in the real world, Marlene, Jennifer Coolidge, the vice principal at Henry's high school, falls in love with a villager who has escaped from the overworld in an out-of-place and bizarre subplot that proves to be somewhat amusing. Whether or not you like a Minecraft movie solely depends on two things: your age and your experience with the video game. If you've been left puzzled by the trailers and have very little familiarity with the game, I'll save you the time. Don't see this flick. While the film has its fair share of laughs, particularly in the first act, which plays out like a typical Jared Hess-directed comedy, the movie becomes a less successful version of Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Once it enters the overworld, the visuals aren't as visually repugnant as you might expect. While none of the movie looks remotely real and feels stuck in the realm of the uncanny valley, it fits the vibe. This isn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where the movie expects its audience to have their minds blown, but instead looks like it's from Spy Kids 3D. A Minecraft movie is well aware of its weirdness, and the film works best when it fully embraces its oddities. There is rarely a moment where Hess and his team take the story seriously whatsoever. Even at the climactic battle in the third act, the movie tells its story with a wink and a nod. Unfortunately, the movie does try to have moments of emotion, and none of it works. The movie briefly addresses the fact that Henry and Natalie have been struggling since their mom's death, but it's brushed aside quickly. There was no need to bring it up, but it does make you wonder why it's there in the first place. Still, some moments do produce laughs. Coolidge plays into her typical shtick, and most of her scenes, as well as the rest of the supporting cast in the real world, are quite funny, even if most of their jokes will fly over the heads of most of the young audience members. Yet, every single scene they're in feels completely out of place and has almost no correlation to the main plot. Its main purpose is seemingly just to make the parents in the audience laugh. Despite the hideous wardrobe, Momoa is a major highlight as the garbage man, perfectly dialing up the man-child persona and having great comedic chemistry with Black. From the moment he dramatically uttered the words, "I am Steve," in the first trailer, you probably knew exactly what kind of performance Black was going to give in a Minecraft movie. Despite the movie's similarities to his Jumanji films, Black isn't playing a character. He's just playing himself. He's always been a reliable comedic actor. Just look at School of Rock and Nacho Libre or his voice work in Kung Fu Panda, but his role in this film becomes grating after a while, to the point that most parents will find themselves checking their watches. It's not that Black is bad in the movie. He fully leans into the movie's absurd nature, but there are only so many TikTok references and musical numbers one can take before wanting the credits to roll. Outside of Black, Momoa, and Coolidge, nobody else gets much to do. Brooks and Myers' characters get their girl boss moments, but we know so little about their characters outside a few details that it never feels earned. Hansen, who feels like they were supposed to be the true lead of the movie at some point, doesn't get much to do other than the fact that his character is good at building things. Once you get past a Minecraft movie's unique aesthetic, you're left with nothing more than a clone of other trapped inside of video game movies. For the devoted fans in the audience, Hess does throw in several references to the games, but there are also some glaring omissions, such as the Ender Dragon. Outside of Steve, creepers may be the most recognizable characters from Minecraft, yet they only get one or two scenes. Instead, we're left with a newly created villain in Malgosha who does have some laughs, but not much else. I do believe that there was a scenario where a Minecraft movie could have been the next Lego movie. That's clearly what Warner Bros. Likely wanted out of this, but instead, we're left with a mostly disposable live-action family movie that will certainly please the young ones in the audience and will be tolerated by the parents. This could have been far worse, but that doesn't make it very good either. If this came out when I first got into Minecraft, I would likely have connected with it much more, but as an adult, I recognize this one wasn't for me, and that's perfectly okay. A Minecraft movie leveled up at the box office, collecting a blockbuster $163 million in its opening weekend. It's not only the biggest domestic debut of the year, but the best in history for a video game adaptation. Monday's final number was above Sunday's estimates of $157 million. Heading into the weekend, Warner Bros. And Legendary's PG fantasy comedy starring Jack Black and Jason Momoa was projected to take in $70 million to $80 million, with some bullish analysts suggesting a final number closer to $90 million. Thanks to pent-up demand for a family film, broad appeal, and goodwill toward the 2011 video game, however, Minecraft squashed expectations in the US and abroad. At the international box office, the tentpole added $150 million for a global start of $313 million. The film cost $150 million to produce before global marketing expenses. Prior to this weekend, Disney and Marvel's Captain America: Brave New World, $88 million, held the benchmark for the year's biggest opening, while Universal and Illumination's 2023 smash, The Super Mario Bros. Movie, $146 million, boasted the largest start for a video game adaptation. Jared Hess, Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, directed a Minecraft movie which follows a group of misfits who are pulled through a portal into a cubic world and guided by an expert crafter named Steve Black. Reviews have been mixed, 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, though that clearly didn't have an influence on audience turnout. The film is drawing like a coveted 5-quadrant movie, appealing broadly to everyone, younger and older adults as well as young teens and kids, says David A. Gross, who runs the Franchise Movie consulting firm. Reviews are not good, but these pictures are made for moviegoers, not critics. When a release catches fire like this, it generates its own momentum, and you can set aside all projections. Hollywood, and Warner Brothers in particular, was starved for a hit. Overall box office revenues continue to lag, with ticket sales currently 5.3% behind 2024 and 35% behind 2019, according to ComScore, though Minecraft helped shrink that gap. And Warner Brothers is coming off the back-to-back theatrical misfires of Robert De Niro's The Alto Knights and Bong Joon-ho and Robert Pattinson's Mickey 17. Up next, the studio has Sinners, a $90 million R-rated vampire thriller from Black Panther and Creed collaborators Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. The domestic box office has been asleep in 2025, and this is an overdue wake-up, Gross says. It's good news for the industry, although this kind of volatility is not healthy in the long run. What the box office needs is consistency. A Minecraft movie is based on one of the best-selling video games in history, but that kind of association doesn't always guarantee success in Hollywood. Just ask the backers of last year's Borderlands. However, game-based films have fielded more hits than misses of late, with the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Five Nights at Freddy's, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Tom Holland's Uncharted all scoring at the box office. Legendary has struck gold in adapting major properties for the screen. A Minecraft movie extends the production company's streak of the Godzilla and King Kong franchise, as well as Dune and Dune Part 2. When we make films, we all hope they will connect with the culture, says Legendary Entertainment's chair Mary Parent. But when they do, they take on a life of their own. It's like lighting dynamite. And Warner Bros. Left no stone unturned in terms of getting Minecraft on the radar of moviegoers. The promotional campaign resulted in the largest third-party partnership in the company's history, and that's significant considering this is the studio behind Barbie. It worked with 45 brands, including McDonald's, Doritos, Oreo, and Poppy Soda, to bring a Minecraft movie to the masses. A perfectly crafted marketing and distribution plan by Warner Bros. Put the film front and center with the target audience of kids and families, says senior ComScore analyst Paul Dergarabedian. In the wake of Super Mario and Sonic, this weekend's global performance by a Minecraft movie proves the code has been officially cracked on how to turn a small-screen video game into a big-screen event. As a Minecraft movie dominated at the box office, other films in theaters settled for scraps. In a faraway, distant second place, Jason Statham's action thriller A Working Man collected $7.2 million from 3,262 theaters. After 2 weeks of release, the Amazon MGM film has earned $27.7 million. Fathom Entertainment's The Chosen Last Supper Part 2, a faith-based TV series about Jesus and his disciples, remained in third place with $6.7 from 2,235 cinemas over the weekend. Fathom is rolling out the show's 5th season in cinemas with 2-week runs of episodes. Part 1 has grossed $17.3 million to date. Disney's live-action Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, tumbled to 4th place with $6 million from 3,750 venues in its third outing. So far, the $250 million tentpole has generated a dismal $77 million domestically and $168 million worldwide. It's shaping up to be one of the year's biggest box office misfires, though, of course, 2025 is young. Rounding out the top 5 is Universal and Blumhouse's The Woman in the Yard, with $4.5 million from 2,845 cinemas in its sophomore frame. The film, starring Danielle Deadweiler as the matriarch of a family who sees a strange woman in the yard, of course, has grossed $17 million. Fortunately for its backers, The Woman in the Yard cost just $12 million to produce. Also new to theaters this weekend, Neon's horror comedy Hell of a Summer opened to $1.75 million from 1,255 screens. It's not a bad start, considering the low-budget film was funded for $3 million. Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard co-directed the film with Billy Brike. They also both appear in the movie, which follows sleepaway camp counselors who get stalked by a masked killer. Initial ticket buyers were mostly females under 25. According to Neon, this week I took my son Zach to see the new Minecraft movie, which is hardly a remarkable statement in the highly video game branded world of 21st century cinema, except that what followed was not typical at all. At least, not yet. As you may have seen from a number of bewildered news reports over the last few days, a Minecraft movie has quickly engendered a community of, let's say, highly engaged and enthusiastic fans. Spurred on by TikTok meme posts, vast portions of the film's audience are now yelling out key lines of dialogue as they happen and singing along to the songs. In one key moment, where a rare character from the game, the zombie chicken jockey, is introduced, they go absolutely crazy, throwing drinks and popcorn around, and in some U.S. cinemas getting escorted from the screening by police. The reaction was a little more muted in our tiny independent cinema in Frome, but still there were rows of teenagers who had clearly seen all the TikTok posts telling them which lines to shout along to and when to throw stuff, and they were extremely excited to be doing so, a few surreptitiously filming their mates' reactions so they could add to the social media carnage. It was boisterous enough for the cinema to post on Facebook the next day about antisocial behavior and the illegality of recording during a film. There is much to unpack here about the exclusionary nature of internet culture, cinema etiquette, and the migration of online communities into physical spaces. Most of the audience reactions were fine. It's an intentionally daft movie made for fans, and it is thrilling to celebrate fandom in a crowded space with like-minded peers. The film itself constantly rewards those who are immersed in its fiction. We enjoyed spotting the many Easter eggs. Oh, look, it's Herobrine! As well as little cameos from Minecraft YouTubers and even the game's developers. There are also genuinely funny moments of slapstick and irony, hinging on committed performances from Jack Black and Jason Momoa. But for Zach, who is 19 and autistic, and for a lot of the smaller children in the auditorium, there were times when the atmosphere was confusing and a little intimidating. There have been comparisons to the wild reactions in screenings of Marvel movies such as Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man No Way Home, but those responses were largely prompted by in-film events. We all understood why people cheered when Captain America successfully caught Thor's hammer, since the moment was painstakingly built into the lore of the series. With a Minecraft movie, the prompts to audience reaction are largely from memes, that branch of internet comedy that is by its nature arcane. The joke is that you are seen to get the joke by other people who also get the joke. Out of context, a meme is a private gag you're not in on. Perhaps the closest analogy is the culture around the Rocky Horror Picture Show and its legendary fan screenings in Flea Pit cinemas, complete with water pistols and drag attire. But those events were opt-in. Everyone knew what they were getting. I'm not sure the same could be said for all of the parents leaving my screening picking popcorn out of their hair. But look, we really enjoyed watching the film. When Zach was young and struggling to communicate, Minecraft was a cherished outlet for him, allowing him to be creative and to make friends. He still plays to this day. It is his comfort blanket, and it changed our lives. Not least because I ended up writing a novel, A Boy Made of Blocks, inspired by our experiences within the game. Just hearing that baleful piano music in the cinema, sharing those jokes, seeing something that has had a profound positive effect on my family depicted on a huge screen among other fans was an emotional experience. Of course, teenagers are supposed to be confusing and intimidating. That's their job. We can't just pivot from hand-wringing over the anxious generation to let's ban them from the cinemas because they're naughty. Also, in these difficult times for the movie industry, filmmakers need to find ways to engage with teen audiences who are going out less, whether that's due to the expense, social anxiety, or the all-encompassing nature of digital culture. A Minecraft movie is that most perfect unicorn of the entertainment business. A review-retardant, multi-million-dollar blockbuster that's reaching the most unreachable generation in modern history. A lot of studios are now going to be busy working out how they can capture this meme-soaked magic in a bottle. Perhaps cinema owners will get wise and organize dedicated autism-friendly screenings, or at the opposite end of the scale, embrace the chaos and do special fan nights. They just need to be prepared to pay the cleaning staff a little extra. A few hundred years ago, 1998, my favorite example in the then crowded real-time strategy genre was Commandos Behind Enemy Lines, a rip-roaring World War II tactical adventure where you directed a group of variously skilled soldiers through covert missions against German strongholds. Commandos Origins is a reimagining of the series, modernizing the original's intricately detailed isometric landscapes and retaining its focus on stealth and sabotage. It's like being in your own interactive version of old war comics, such as Warlord and Battle Action, and I am fully prepared to lose hours of my life repeatedly attempting to get the sniper into the guard tower without being spotted by the patrolling Nazis. Some of the best game movies, Jumanji, Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, have the same things in common. They've got a good amount of adventure sprinkled with heart, humor, and genuinely good characters. I wish I could say a Minecraft movie had any of these things besides the adventure part. This is a film that is clearly aimed at kids, but even they weren't laughing at the jokes or any of the character interactions. The Minecraft video game doesn't exactly have a sprawling story or anything, so there was certainly an opportunity to play around in the world of the game while giving it some narrative depth and lovable characters. Unfortunately, director Jared Hess and the screenwriters, Chris Bowman, Hubbel Palmer, Neil Widener, Gavin James, and Chris Galletta, offer a shallow story that underwhelms on almost every front. There's a lot of exposition in the film, which largely comes from Jack Black's Steve, who wanted to be a miner so badly that he left his dead-end corporate job. In the mines, he finds an orb that leads him to the overworld, a cubic world that allows him to create whatever he can imagine. When the Piglin villain Malgosha, Rachel House, who rules over the nether dimension, tries to destroy the overworld, Steve unites with Garrett, the garbage man Garrison, Jason Momoa, realtor Dawn, Danielle Brooks, and orphan siblings Henry, Sebastian Hansen, and Natalie, Emma Myers, to stop her. A Minecraft movie tries to give us a buddy friendship between Momoa's garbage man and Black Steve, but it never lands. I can forgive the focus on silliness if the film had bothered to care about any of its character relationships, but some of their moments are either cringeworthy or hollow. That speaks to the film's lack of character depth. The four main characters are thinly written, and when the film pauses from its swashbuckling adventure through the overworld to focus on them, their story beats prove too flat to invest in. The adaptation does have something to say about creativity and it being stifled by the real world, but it's a barely there theme. When it does make an appearance, the dialogue is too on the nose. There are occasionally fun moments, but what the film ultimately lacks is heart. None of the character dynamics are given enough time to flourish, and their arcs are so underbaked they're practically neglected. There's very little care or effort put into these characters, which makes all the heartfelt moments feel tacked on, rather than a natural progression of their stories. Even the comedy is missing. There wasn't a single good joke in the entire film, and I usually enjoy Jack Black's humor. It all felt so forced, an amalgamation of Hollywood's worst adaptation tendencies. Had there been an emotional through line and genuine humor, a Minecraft movie might have worked. At the very least, it might have been fun. It's not like the expectations for this film were high, but it doesn't even do the bare minimum of entertaining. It was more of a chore to get through than it was actually enjoyable. The film is at its best when it's exploring the overworld, its wonder and inhabitants. Its bright energy and endless creativity contrasts greatly with the Nether's darker aspects. Malgosha's backstory is touched upon. It's actually funny, and yet it's the saddest aspect of the film, which ties back into its themes about creativity. Rachel House is having a great time as the villain. The actress really leans into the nonsensical aspects of her character and gives the film some much-needed vitality. The film is occasionally engaging when Małgosia is on screen, and her final interaction with Black's character is a highlight. If only the rest of the film had that same vigor, but it's just one empty adventure after another until the credits roll. Jennifer Coolidge's Vice Principal Marlene even has a weird subplot, and for all that I'd watch the actress do anything and still be entertained, her story was too disjointed from the rest of the film. And while a Minecraft movie is aimed at kids, it could have treated its audience with a bit more respect. As it stands, the film is far too empty to be given a second thought, which is unfortunate considering it had some potential. One particular scene involving a chicken jockey from a Minecraft movie is going viral and even causing legal trouble in movie theaters, begging the question of what is driving this phenomenon. Overall, a Minecraft movie has become somewhat of a sensation in its own right. The events of a Minecraft movie's ending aside, the film has become one of the biggest viral spectacles of 2025, akin to the likes of Morbius or Madam Web when concerning how many memes it has spawned. This has partly been driven by a Minecraft movie's cast led by Jack Black. Since the film's first trailers were released, Black's performance as Steve has garnered attention, combined with many not holding the belief that the film was going to be of a high standard, which a Minecraft movie's mixed reviews seem to emulate. And seeing it as a result of this, Black's meme-worthy performance has allowed the project to become a surprise hit of 2025. A Minecraft movie's strong box office numbers typify this, aided by the viral nature of the theater-going experience. Since a Minecraft movie's release, one scene has caused quite a stir, the now infamous chicken jockey moment. Firstly, it is worth exploring exactly what a chicken jockey is in the original Minecraft game. Naturally, the Easter eggs in a Minecraft movie are taken directly from the game, which has a sandbox, creative format with little character or story work. In the game, players are unleashed on the overworld, the main setting of a Minecraft movie, where they can craft anything they want, build cities, and mine for rare materials to their heart's content. At night, however, several mobs hinder the player, from bow and arrow wielding skeletons to slow-moving zombies and exploding creepers. A variant of the zombie mob in Minecraft is a baby zombie, which is exactly what the name suggests. A baby zombie only has a 5% chance of spawning, with a further variant of this, the famed chicken jockey, having an even smaller chance of materializing at 0.25%. A chicken jockey is simply a baby zombie who spawns riding a chicken, and despite its rarity, is simply another of the monsters that players face off against in Minecraft. Regardless, the chicken jockey has become a worldwide viral meme from a Minecraft movie. Now it is worth exploring how the chicken jockey plays into a Minecraft movie. Surprisingly, given the immense viral nature of the movie monster, a Minecraft movie's chicken jockey scene is over as quickly as it begins. At one point, Jason Momoa's character, Garrett, is forced into a fighting ring against several mobs taken from the source material. A chicken appears in front of him, prompting Garrett to ask Steve if they expect him to fight the animal. However, a box appears above the chicken and releases a baby zombie, thus creating one of a Minecraft movie's most viral moments. As the baby zombie sits atop the chicken, Jack Black's Steve exclaims, "Chicken jockey!" Garrett is then thrown against the side of the ring by the chicken jockey, and the scene ends. In many ways, this scene does not feel like one that would cause as big a stir as it has, linking to the somewhat normal nature of a chicken jockey to Minecraft players. Evidently, though, general audiences of a Minecraft movie had other ideas. As I have already alluded to, a Minecraft movie has become one of those once-in-a-blue-moon movies that capture the attention of the online community. The film has held this title since marketing began, with several moments being memed by fans online for no real discernible reason. Due to the endless amounts of memes that were created in the run-up to the film's release, a Minecraft movie has become an event regarding the theater-going experience. Audiences are losing their minds when seeing these scenes play out, with the chicken jockey scene leading the way. One of the main commonalities between the many viral memes of a Minecraft movie is Jack Black's tendency to simply say buzzwords from the source material in differing tones. Black's "I am Steve" declaration is one of these moments, given that the player character in the game has that name. Beyond that, Black's endless list of calling out items, characters, or areas from the game has become viral, spawning audience reactions in the theater. Some of these objects include a crafting table, flint and steel, the nether, villagers, or indeed a chicken jockey. Among all of these moments, the chicken jockey declaration from Black received the most attention online. As a result, the same scene is receiving the most amount of attention from audiences in theaters. Viral videos have been posted since a Minecraft movie's release, showcasing audiences familiar with the memes going crazy upon the reveal of the chicken jockey and Black's line. These videos showcase Avengers-level cheering, audience members jumping up and down, and popcorn flying through the air, truly solidifying the chicken jockey as a Minecraft movie's biggest viral phenomenon. To further emphasize just how big the reactions have been to a Minecraft movie's chicken jockey scene, some legal action has been taken. One specific viral video showcases the reaction in one theater, with screaming audiences and movie theater snacks being launched at the mention of the chicken jockey. The video then shows the aftermath, with several people being escorted out of the theater by police. The chicken jockey meme is reaching untold levels of reaction that have ruined theater experiences enough to get the law involved. Since this video surfaced, the theater chain, located in New Jersey, had to take action against the overwhelming reactions that a Minecraft movie is garnering among audiences familiar with the viral moments. As reported by NBC New York, the movie theater that housed the viral video of people being escorted out by police has since placed a ban on children or large groups of teenagers viewing a Minecraft movie. Now, at this theater specifically, only children accompanied by an adult will be permitted admittance to the film as a response to the chicken jockey-induced near riot that took place. Outside of the U.S., other theater chains have followed suit and issued warnings for screenings of a Minecraft movie. The Guardian reports that several theater locations in the UK have taken a zero-tolerance approach to these screenings, insisting that if anyone indulges in the antisocial behavior seen online in response to the chicken jockey scene, screenings of a Minecraft movie will be cancelled. Above anything else, this sums up just how wide-reaching the viral chicken jockey scene has become. For every amount of trouble the chicken jockey scene from a Minecraft movie has caused, it has sparked success tenfold. The film's memes and viral moments are perhaps the leading cause of why audiences are seeing a Minecraft movie, allowing its box office to cross a Jack Black milestone, become one of Warner Bros.' highest ever openers, and likely earn enough money to justify a Minecraft movie too. Moreover, a Minecraft movie's chicken jockey scene is causing merchandising spikes. The cinema chain Cinemark is selling a chicken jockey popcorn bucket that functions as a drink holder too. These objects have been selling out, even reselling at obscene prices on online sellers like eBay. This, combined with McDonald's toys and Lego sets, proves just how insane the hype has reached for a Minecraft movie's chicken jockey scene. More so than any of a Minecraft movie's other viral moments, the chicken jockey phenomenon is creating commotion worldwide, though Warner Bros. Will surely not be complaining after the film's over $300 million opening weekend. Members of the Minecraft community were present during the production of the film, with YouTuber Mumbo Jumbo contributing towards designing some of the props 2-229. Additionally, the game's co-creator Jens Bergenston was present during production and worked with the crew 208 to 215 when writing and directing the film. The team opted to make a story based on Minecraft rather than making an official canon story, which they viewed as in line with Minecraft's nature as a sandbox game that lets players create their own stories. As such, the film was titled a Minecraft movie rather than the Minecraft movie. This also applied to the film's depiction of one of Minecraft's characters, Steve, which the production crew described as Jack Black's version. of the character that was not meant to represent the Steve present in Minecraft. James Thomas served as the film's editor. While a Minecraft movie is predominantly a live-action film, it uses a heavy amount of CGI to simulate the terrain, animals, monsters, and other objects. Green screens and in-studio lighting were also used. Extensively visual effects for the film were provided by Sony Pictures Imageworks, Waya FX, and Digital Domain, with Dan Lemon serving as visual effects supervisor, casting around the same time that Hess was announced to direct the film. It was also stated that Momoa would star in the film in May 2023. Matt Berry entered negotiations to join the cast, while Danielle Brooks and Sebastian Eugene Hansen joined the cast in November, and Emma Myers joined the cast in December. In January 2024, Black joined the cast, teasing his casting in the film via his official Instagram account. Originally, Black was set to only appear as a cameo in the form of a talking pig before he was cast as Steve, according to producer Tori Franzo Lapson. Black's depiction of Steve was specific to him. At the same time as Black's casting, Jennifer Coolidge, Kate McKinnon, and Jermaine Clement were also cast in. At the time, undisclosed roles. YouTuber Valkyrie was originally set to appear in the film, but was removed after she openly criticized Momoa, accusing him of mistreating the cast and production crew. Filming principal photography for a Minecraft movie began in January 2024 near Auckland and concluded by April of that year. Originally, filming was going to begin in August 2023, but was delayed due to the 2023 SAG-FT strike grant. Major served as the production designer, and Enrique Chidiac served as the cinematographer. Music Mark Mothersbaugh composed the original score, while Gabe Hilfer and Karen Rackman serve as music. Supervisors Mothersbaugh incorporated nods to the music of the game by C4 and 18, and said that the score was meant to balance the charm of the characters with the action, while retaining a depth and emotional resonance from the Minecraft soundtrack. C418's title track plays during the opening credits, and his song Dragonfish plays during a scene with pandas. Lena Raine's track Pigstep features during the Nether's Got Talent sequence. The film includes several original songs performed by Black, including I Feel Alive. It was written by Black and features Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl on drums, Queens of the Stone Age guitarist Troy Van Leeuwen Jellyfish, keyboardist Roger Joseph Manning Jr., and Mark Ronson on both rhythm guitar and bass. Brooks also provides backup vocals. The song was released as a single prior to the release of the film on March 20th, 2025. Mothersbaugh score, along with original songs by Ben Benet, Dalo, and Dirty Honey, was released digitally on March 28th. The film also features an instrumental rendition of Depeche Mode's Just Can't Get Enough, performed by Jameson Shaw. Marketing and release the film's first teaser trailer, set to the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour, was released on September 4th, 2024. Audience reactions to the teaser were noted as divisive or generally negative, with criticism for the CGI design and live-action nature of the film. Andrew Webster of The Verge said that besides its unsettling imagery, it looks like some silly family fun. Tom Power of Techrar could not decide whether it was drop-dead-ad gorgeous or the stuff of nightmares. Marcus Persson, the creator of Minecraft, praised the trailer on Twitter, saying, "Okay, wow, this is a weird feeling." Various clips and images from the trailer, such as the designs of a bleeding pink sheep and a white llama, and Jack Black saying, "I am Steve," were ridiculed by online commenters. A second trailer set to MGMT's Time to Pretend was released on November 19th to a more positive response from many viewers. A final trailer for the film was released on February 27th, and a final teaser for the film was released on March 27th, set to the tune of a cover of Heart and Soul by Hoagie Carmichael. The teaser features Jennifer Coolidge on a date with a villager. A Minecraft movie had its official premiere at the Leicester Square in London, United Kingdom, on March 30th, 2025, and was released theatrically in IMAX in the United States by Warner Brothers Pictures on April 4th see upon the film's release in theaters, a trend was noted where during certain scenes of the film, particularly those where Black would name-drop something from Minecraft, e.g. Flint and Steel the Nether Chicken, jockey audiences would have over-exaggerated reactions, including clapping, cheering, screaming, standing, ovations, or even throwing food and drinks at the screen. The viral nature of these reactions online fueled the trend and encouraged others to imitate or outdo the disruptions, prompting several theaters to issue warnings, institute a zero-tolerance policy on such behavior, or even get authorities involved a few. Days before the film's release, a wordprint version featuring incomplete visual effects and CGI missing credits and significant chroma key masking errors was leaked onto various piracy websites and spread on social media platforms such as Twitter. The release of the film coincided with Mojang's collaboration with various brands to create promotional products for the film, including action figures of the characters, Creeper Green Vanilla Milk from True Moo, and special Happy Meals offered by McDonald's. The unusual nature of these products, such as the uncanny appearance of the Jack Black action figure, garnered both attention and some criticism. Though the Nether Flame Sauce hot dipping sauce from the promotional Happy Meal was lauded for its spice and suitability with Chicken McNuggets reception as of April 6, 2025, a Minecraft movie has grossed $163 million in the United States and Canada and $150.7 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $313.7 million in the United States and Canada. A Minecraft movie was released alongside Hell of a Summer and was initially projected to gross $65 to $70 million from $4,263 theaters in its opening weekend, with some estimates going as high as $80 million. It made $10.66 million from Thursday night previews, topping Five Nights at Freddy's $10.3 million for best total by a video game adaptation, and increasing weekend projections to 80 to 100 millioners after making 58 million on its first day. Including previews, estimates were again revised to $135 to $150 million. It ended up debuting with over $157 million domestically and $31 million globally on its opening weekend, surpassing the Super Mario Brothers movie, which featured Black as the highest-grossing opening weekend for a movie based on a video game. Critical response on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 48% of 126. Critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 5 out of 10. The website's consensus reads, ostensibly a film about celebrating creativity, a Minecraft movie provides a colorful sandbox for Jack Black and Jason Momoa to amusingly romp around in a story curiously constructed from conventional building blocks. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 47 out of 100 based on 37 critics indicating mixed or average reviews. Audience reactions to the film were more positive in comparison to critics' cinema. Score gave the film an average grade of B+ on an A+ to F scale, while 67% of those surveyed by PostTrax said they would definitely recommend the film. Kids under the age of 12 gave the film an average rating of 5 out of 5 stars, while parents gave an average of 4.5 out of 5 stars. Critics were divided on the film's plot and whether or not a Minecraft movie was a faithful adaptation of the game, as well as if it made sense to viewers unfamiliar with it. Lovia Jarkey of The Hollywood Reporter and Jesse Hassinger of IEN both believed that the film's plot was confusing. Jarkey felt that it struggled to maintain a balance between appeasing the Minecraft fandom and writing a film that made sense to a general audience. And Hassinger said that the film was conceptually muddy and confusingly and erratically presented. Mark Kennedy of the Associated Press believed that the film would likely make no sense to a viewer unfamiliar with the source material, but still believed that it was a faithful adaptation. However, he did highlight the films featuring concepts not present within the game itself to enable plot progression. Contrarily, Liz, Shannon Miller of Consequence believed that the plot was fully comprehensible to someone unfamiliar with the game. Some reviewers viewed the fan service present within the film positively, particularly highlighting the tribute to Technoblade. The performances of the cast were praised. Many viewed their performances as helping alleviate or distract any problems present within the film's plot. Black and Momoa in particular received a lot of praise. Miller and Jordan Hoffman of Entertainment Weekly both felt that the story was not the main priority of the film and could be ignored in favor of the performance of the actors. The former believing that the film was mainly made with the intent of having fun. However, some viewed that the characters, despite the performances of their actors, were generally underdeveloped. The subplot involving Coolidge's character dating a villager, while viewed as generally unnecessary or relatively thin in terms of character development, was subject to considerable praise. Some reviewers questioned the purpose or value of the film, with some viewing it as nothing more than a product with the intent of promoting Minecraft. Both Kevin Moore of The Times and David Fear of Rolling Stone likened the film to a corporate cash grab, viewing it as existing with the sole purpose of promoting the Minecraft brand and offering nothing else of value. Ma further viewed the film as lacking a level of versatility present in other video game adaptations, while Fear believed that the film was intentionally confusing so that it would stay in the minds of people longer and therefore encourage them to purchase merchandise, while Clarice Lowry of The Independent believed that the idea behind a live-action Minecraft adaptation was fundamentally flawed and destroyed the spirit of the source material. She felt that the film had genuine intent and was not like other adaptations that she viewed as existing solely for the sake of profit. Possible sequel in an interview with Variety. Legendary's chairman of worldwide production, Mary Perrin, explained how the movie earned the in its title, stating that we're calling it a Minecraft movie because we're respecting the fact that there's no one story that drives the game. Director Jared Hess also included that the film is not the official story and that it is just one of a zillion stories. In another interview, Hess expressed interest in making a sequel, noting the world's use of infinite mods, characters, and biomes, outlining how Minecraft is virtually endless. A Minecraft movie review going into a Minecraft movie I was hoping for. Something that might emulate the cheeky fun of the Lego movie or the reimagined Jumanji. Those at least seem to be reasonable comps. Alas, Jared Hess' translation of the popular computer game proves to be little more than a less inspired the Super Mario Brothers movie like Jumanji or Tron for that matter. The story focuses on bringing people from the real world into the Minecraft game world, but once it gets them there, it doesn't quite know what to do with them. The screenplay, credited to a half-dozen writers, fails to wring much humor from the obligatory fish out of water scenarios, and the action-adventure stuff is mostly DOA and short a Minecraft movie. Never finds its groove, constantly veering from one set piece to another with a scattershot storyline and whiplash-inducing tone inconsistencies. I would question the filmmaker's choices. When it comes to selecting a target audience, the movie appears to be pitched firmly at kids, especially those in the 4 to 10-year-old range. I guess they're going for the Disney crowd, but the overall Minecraft group, which is over 200 million strong, is aging, and many of the most devoted players are now in their teens and 20s, and there doesn't appear to be much here for them outside of the excitement of seeing their favorite game on the big screen. My 14-year-old son, who has been playing for a decade, was upbeat about the possibilities. His post-screening verdict: cringy. That's not a word Warner Brothers wants to hear bandied about. And to be fair, my other kid, who is 5, loved it for her. The colorful palette, loud noises, physical humor, and various low-violence battles were sufficient to engage her for 90 minutes. The movie tries to include meta and self-referential humor, but most of it either feels forced or simply isn't funny. A lot of what's wrong with a Minecraft movie falls into that category, as if it's trying too hard to be the Lego movie rather than using a similar approach to become its own thing. The film's two biggest names at least bring their A game with Jason Momoa willingly, lampooning his own image much the way Dwayne Johnson did in Jumanji, and Jack Black being, well, Jack Black has by now embedded himself so deeply into the game-inspired movie genre, with previous appearances in Borderlands, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and the Jumanji sequels, that he understands exactly how to play. Steve, speaking of which, the movie starts out by providing Steve's backstory, showing how he achieves his childhood dream of mining while chipping away at rocks. He discovers two cool things, actually, the Orb of Dominance and the Earth Crystal, that when combined, open a portal to the overworld he enters, and immediately learns how to use blocks to build houses. But after spending decades crafting a massive city, Steve discovers a portal to another realm, the dark, soulless world of Nether, ruled over by Melosa Rachel House, who looks like she got lost on the way to a Dark Crystal sequel before being captured. Steve gives his dog Dennis the Orb of Dominance and Earth Crystal to hide in the real world. That's where Garrett, the garbage man Garrison Momoa, enters the story with his video game store on the edge of bankruptcy. Garrett will go to any lengths to save it. One of his schemes nets him a bunch of junk, but inside an old box are the Orb of Dominance and Earth Crystal, a visitor to his store. Henry Sebastian Hansen accidentally activates the portal, allowing him, his older sister, Natalie Emma Myers, realtor Dawn Danielle Brooks, and Garrett to enter the overworld. They soon become embroiled in trying to stop the nefarious schemes of Melosa while helping Steve reunite with Dennis. If all of that sounds like pretty standard animated kid stuff, that's because it is. Despite the inclusion of live actors, there's a lot of CGI and animation involved, although there are times when Jared Hess, the Napoleon Dynamite director, shows his fondness for whimsy. The necessities of working with a major brand constrain him. His penchant for the bizarre is evident in one aspect of the movie, the inclusion of Jennifer Coolidge playing Vice Principal Marlene. She is at best tangential to the story, but Hess and his screenwriters nevertheless elect to give her an oversized role, even though her scenes are completely severed from the main proceedings. Coolidge is, of course, doing what she does best, playing a breezy, ditzy character who is divorced. That, from reality kids, probably won't know what to make of Marlene, but she feels like an Easter egg for adults, for a movie based on a game that's all about world building. The crowning irony is that there's almost none of that here. The overworld is bright and colorful and replicates the look and feel of the game, but we're given scant opportunity to explore it, although a more epic approach to the material like Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves probably wouldn't have worked with a Minecraft movie. I wish the filmmakers had done something to make the action scenes more than obligatory interludes. It took Warner Brothers and Mojang Studios something like 11 years to get a Minecraft movie to screens, and the large number of writers whose names were approved by the WGA, with at least 21 other contributors not receiving credit, hints at many contradictory ideas and dead-end approaches the final product. Reflects this. A Minecraft movie is a chaotic mess. Some players will enjoy the flashes of familiarity, but others will find the production to be lacking. Cringy. Might be too harsh, but this is unlikely to become the next video game to movie classic if you ever find that you've fallen asleep in a big shot Hollywood story meeting, and you need something to say that makes it look like you've actually been paying close attention. You could do worse than this. Whose story is this? Again, this question, who is the true focal point of the adventure being pitched, seems both central to any film and also one of the easiest things to lose track of in the detailing. And so a Minecraft movie whose story is this is it. Jack Black's the lovable loner who finds himself drawn inside the world of Minecraft and loves it and thrives in there, but loses the duad that allows him to travel back and forth between worlds and ends up missing his pet wolf very badly. Is it Jason? Momoa's a kind of Billy Mitchell knockoff, a former pro gamer whose business is failing and who finds himself on the cusp of having to admit that he's actually a loser. Is it the young family Emma Myers and Sebastian Eugene Hansen? Two siblings who are trying to start over in a new town after the death of their parents. Is it Danielle Brooks A., part-time estate agent and woman of many side hustles who finds herself trying to help the siblings? All of these people have one thing in common. They all get thrown into the world of Minecraft, where they must find the doodad they need to. Escape fighting evil piglins, navigating the nether, learning to both mine and craft and work as a team. Whose story is it? It's hard to tell. This is a film in which there's simultaneously quite a lot going on and also not very much. It feels convoluted, but then you write it all down and it's very simple. We're stuck inside this place. Let's try to get out. Again, so how is it a few genuinely lovely moments aside, one involving knives, one involving Jack Black in diamond armor, a Minecraft movie is firmly stuck in the cinematic genre of high spirits, a genre defined by a lot of energy and goodwill, but little in the way of genuine emotion. This is an interesting genre because despite its innate likability, nobody actually chooses it at the start of a project. Rather, high spirits is where you end up when something isn't working properly. Hudson Hawk is high spirits all the way down. I would argue The Fifth Element is high spirits too. I like both these films. A lot, possibly too much even. But I'd struggle to argue that their creators truly wanted them to turn out as they did. Like second-tier gangsters, high spirits films often have moxie, but not a lot else. A Minecraft movie, which has 3 names listed under story by and had 5 names underwritten by, seems to have at least realized that high spirits was where it was heading early on in proceedings. The fundamental problem, before we get to the really fundamental problem in a bit, is that it's a film about turning up in a magical world, but the real world as the film depicts it is so loosely defined and silly that the magical world doesn't feel like that much of a departure. What's Minecraft? When the real world has high school students making functioning jetpacks in art class, and where Jennifer Coolidge is the school principal. What's Minecraft? When Jason Momoa is already rattling around in a pink leather jacket and driving a T-Bird and giving out garbled life advice, and where the local economy is based around a potato chip business with a 10 feet tall potato mascot stuck to the outside of the factory. The film's solution to this tonal problem is to rely on the classic 3-act structure as a kind of straitjacket to keep everything in place. A Minecraft movie starts out by whizzing through an entire Minecraft movie's worth of narrative in the first 10 minutes, as it tells the story of how Jack Black originally ended up in the overworld. Then we hit credits, and a very traditional there and back again story unfolds as a bunch of new weirdos are thrown into this world of blocks and talking pigs. This structure keeps the movie zipping along, but it also makes it alarmingly predictable. You probably don't go to a Minecraft movie for narrative shocks and postmodern surprises, but this is a film whose narrative beats you can call out well in advance with surprising granularity. What's in the film's favor? Casting. For one thing, Jennifer Coolidge might be villainously underused, but absolutely everyone on board is a pro at making things brisk and charming. I will watch Jack Black in anything, even if here he's basically relegated to being an endless tutorial. The younger actors are great. Danielle Brooks brings a sketched-in part to life, and Jason Momoa is genuinely fantastic in this film. He gives a wonderfully soulful performance as a difficult but ultimately decent man-child, and if there's any real emotion in here, it lies with him. I left the cinema slightly in love with him. Other information about this film, directed by Jared Hess. A Minecraft movie follows. 4 misfits: Garrett the Garbage Man, Garrison Jason Momoa, Henry Sebastian, Hansen Natalie Emma Myers, and Dawn Danielle Brooks, who find themselves struggling with ordinary problems when they are suddenly pulled through a mysterious portal into the overworld, a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination. To get back home, they'll have to master this world and protect it from evil things like piglins and zombies too, while embarking on a magical quest with an unexpected expert crafter, Steve Jack Black. Together, their adventure will challenge all five to be bold and reconnect with the qualities that make each of them uniquely creative, and give them the very skills they need to thrive back in the real world, with several popular video games being adapted for film and TV. It is no surprise that Minecraft, one of the biggest and most successful games in the world, was the next big game to get an adaptation. But unlike most other video game adaptations, Minecraft is one of those games that doesn't have a story to adapt, as it is literally a clean slate for players to create their own worlds and their own stories using the tools and elements the game provides. This has led to the creation of player-created lore, as well as the formation of large communities filled with creative people obsessed with the game, including myself. So when an adaptation was announced, it was clear that any filmmaker in charge could pretty much go in any direction they wanted with it, since they could also create their own world and story using elements of the game and occasionally community lore, just like players in the game have done. With that said, was this strange-looking live-action story of Minecraft, the kind of adaptation I would have wanted to see on the big screen. Did this adaptation end up being fun? Anyways, surprisingly, a Minecraft movie was clearly made and aimed at younger audiences, families, and fans of the game, so it's highly likely that most adults as well as critics will probably not like it at all, but I ended up enjoying most of it, while it certainly has its faults and choices that I wasn't keen on. I felt that the over-the-top nature and zany charm of this film won me over, mostly due to the performances by the leading cast members, a self-aware story that wasn't trying to take itself so seriously, and its fun use of the game's biggest elements in action. I may end up being in an extreme minority with this film, but I didn't think it was anywhere near the disaster that most may consider it as, or thought it would be from the trailers. The cast clearly had a lot of fun making this film, as shown in their performances, but the biggest standouts are the dynamic duo of Jack Black and Jason Momoa as Steve and Garrett, respectively. Jack Black is as unhinged as you'd expect in his portrayal of Steve, playing to his strengths in comedy, if you love Jack. Black's energetic and over-the-top style of humor, like I do, then you will absolutely enjoy him as Steve, but if not, then you will probably not like him as much. However, I found myself laughing the hardest at Jason Momoa, who is supremely funny as a washed-up gamer who takes himself too seriously. From the moment he stepped on screen, I absolutely loved his character and couldn't stop loving him all the way through the film. He made every single line of dialogue, no matter how stupid sounding it is, hilarious, and his physical slapstick comedy was just the best, both individually and together. These two really carry the film with their comedic energy, and by the end of the film, I wanted to watch even more films with them together, even if it wasn't Minecraft. Danielle Brooks as Dawn also was a great addition to the film, with her own style of humor, giving some heart and spark with her performance, much like with her role in Peacemaker. You can't help but adore her and her character in this film just as much as you do in that series. As for the two characters played by Sebastian, Hansen, and Emma Myers, I thought their performances were all right, but unfortunately, I really didn't care much about their characters. They weren't annoying or irritating at all, but their characters and story were shallow, despite the attempts to make them emotionally compelling. They both clearly had fun in all the action scenes of the film and shown when they started utilizing the tools of Minecraft. But, truthfully, I cared more about Steve Garrett and Dawn over both of them. Rachel House voices the big bad of this film as Malosha, the piglin ruler of the Nether, and she makes for a decent villain for a family-aimed film, though. she could have been more entertaining. We also get Jennifer Coolidge as a character in a random subplot involving her and a Minecraft villager that was so bizarre yet somehow manages to be funny due to Jennifer Coolidge herself. No matter what she is in, she never fails to be funny, and despite her short appearance in this film, she definitely got some good laughs. Out of Me, director Jared Hess is known for his weirdly random and unhinged style of comedy, with previous works like Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, and he infuses that style within the creative world of Minecraft, making for an adaptation that is zany as hell, but also mostly entertaining in my view, especially when it is fully self-aware and refuses to take itself seriously. So if you are into his kind of style, whether it be ironically or unironically, then chances are you will be into this film too. I didn't care much about the real-world stuff at the beginning of the film, but once it actually gets into the world of Minecraft, I was fully on board with a wild and humor-filled adventure that was full of fun with its creative use of the game's tools and elements, as well as a bunch of inside jokes and Easter eggs for fans of the games to enjoy. It's a film that also explores how far imagination can go, and it does feel belly like the perfect film for families to watch around this time of year that is just harmless, goofy fun, even if it can be considered dumb fun. People who aren't as well versed in the world or community of Minecraft will probably not understand nor like a majority of this film as a result. But as someone who is well versed, I personally liked what was given as well as the effort that was put into some of the references they did. By far the best reference of the film was the Minecraft pig in a crown, which was a touching tribute to the late popular Minecraft YouTuber known as Technoblade, who sadly passed away from cancer at the age of 23 in 2022. It may not mean much to people who aren't a part of the community or have never seen his channel, but it means a lot to many others who had watched his content and were deeply saddened by his sudden passing. For that, I deeply respect Hess and his team for making such a heartwarming tribute, showing that they did clearly care about the Minecraft community when making this film. One of the most talked about elements of this film, even before its release, was the highly uncanny and unhinged visual effects specifically for the blocky animals and creatures of this film, also known as mobs in the game. Like most people, I was a bit put off by how some of the mobs looked in live action in the trailers, but after seeing them in the actual film itself, most of them actually didn't look that bad. Yes, there are definitely some animals and creatures that still look uncanny as hell in terms of looks, but they actually looked kind of visually pleasing, even when it's uncanny, especially since it matches the humorous tone of this film. There were also some designs I thought looked legitimately great, like the wolves, the creepers, the piglins, the vindicators, and even the iron golems, who easily had the best scenes in the film. The creepiest creature they adapted almost too well in terms of looks and feels was the Enderman, with its haunting slender body and piercing purple eyes. For the effects of the Minecraft world itself, I won't lie in admitting it actually looks really good, especially when a surprising amount of the sets and props were all practical. Numerous items, tools, blocks, and structures within the film were all made through impressive practical effects that looked really damn good and clearly had a lot of effort put into making them. Even if you aren't sold on the CGI, you have to give credit for making the effort of adding in as many practical effects as they could and make them look really cool in live action. Now there are some CGI effects here and there that don't look that great, but overall I didn't think of this as an ugly looking film, especially when the world itself is gorgeous to look at and is shot extremely well with some great cinematography. In terms of music, we do get a solid score by composer Mark Mothersby, who does some orchestrally epic renditions of the iconic music of the game that fit perfectly with the adventurous tone of the film. But we also get some crazy fun. Songs from none other than Jack Black himself to add even more zenith to this film. I didn't go into a Minecraft movie with high hopes, since the video game that it's based on is almost completely devoid of plot, allowing players to roam free and create what they please. It seemed like it would be a tricky property to adapt. Others have succeeded with similar challenges, though, like Greta Gerwig with Barbie. As with that movie, the source material here just wasn't for me, for whatever reason. Maybe I'm too old, but being the most successful video game of all time, it clearly resonates with a lot of people. Also, as with Barbie, though, I wound up enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would, even if this movie doesn't approach the creative heights of Gerwig's. A Minecraft movie kicks off with an incredibly exposition-heavy opening sequence in which we learn that Steve Jack Black stumbles upon a portal to the overworld in which everything is made up of cubes, and he is able to create nearly anything he wants from the materials around him. Later, he stumbles upon another portal that takes him to the Nether, also made of cubes but dark and devoid of creativity. He winds up being taken captive by the Nether's ruler Malasha, voiced by Rachel House, who wants to strip the overworld of its resources. But he sends his trusted cubic dog Dennis into the real world to hide the orb, also a cube, in his bedroom, at least temporarily thwarting her plans, and then the actual plot kicks in after the death of their parents. Natalie Emma Myers takes on the task of being the legal guardian to her younger brother, Henry Sebastian Hansen, and moves the pair to the town of Chulass, Idaho, where she has been given a job handling social media for the local potato chip company after Henry causes an incident at school. He discovers the orb on a shelf in a retro game shop owned by former video game champion Garrett the Garbage Man, Garrison Jason Momoa, and the pair are pulled towards the original portal it created. Natalie tries to find him and enlists the help of her real estate agent, Danielle Brooks, who quickly ascertains where they are headed. They catch up to each other at the precipice of the portal and wind up being pulled into the overworld, where Garrett accidentally breaks part of the orb, trapping them inside, with a newly freed Steve as their only hope of returning home. The script has been through several hands over the last decade plus of development, and it shows. But despite that, it still does a decent job of setting up the lore for a world that didn't really have any to start with, while also remembering to highlight the spirit of creativity and exploration. The game encourages references to and in jokes about Minecraft abound, all of which earned enthusiastic responses from the fans present at my screening. But there is enough here that doesn't require prior knowledge of the game to keep us noobs entertained. Director Jared Hess is probably best known for creating the endearingly oddball indie comedy Napoleon Dynamite, and he brings plenty of that energy here, even managing to incorporate tots into the story. His low-key absurdism works well with the story, with the parts in which his mark is most apparent standing out as the film's best. As the action gets bigger and bigger in scale, the humor gets more generic and even falls to the wayside altogether, but it still proves himself adept at handling the sort of big-budget spectacle that a modern franchise requires. The cast are the true standouts here, though Jack Black is in full manic mode, which can sometimes be overkill, but mostly works for this movie. Jason Momoa is great fun to watch, playing heavily against type and demonstrating some genuine comic chops. Brooks charms in her role and gets more than a few laughs, while Myers and Hansen prove winning as the emotional core of the story, and Jennifer Coolidge makes the most of her appearance in a B-plot that serves little purpose other than to keep us filled in on how much time has elapsed in the real world, getting many of the film's funniest lines, despite the plot being simultaneously too simple and too complex. A Minecraft movie proves to be a fun time. The blocky world the characters find themselves in was never going to look plausible, but it's rendered with a tactility that makes it feel real. Nevertheless, Hess' oddball sensibilities work with the inherently peculiar world, and his cast get us to care about these 5 weirdos fans of the game should love this movie, and the rest of us may feel at least a little compelled to pick up a controller and try a little crafting more detail. It's a curious choice of title, a Minecraft movie. Implies that this cynical intellectual property rinsing exercise is one of numerous film adaptations of the enduringly popular sandbox video game. Perhaps there's an alternative out there, a sharper, smarter, funnier version of a Minecraft movie one with actual jokes, or God forbid there may even be a worse iteration, although that's hard to imagine. What becomes clear is that one of the key elements in the game's popularity, the latitude it affords gamers to create their own experience, is a big stumbling block for any film. Adaptation of Minecraft. In the absence of a single fixed storyline, the screenplay can follow a Minecraft movie. Has a cobbled together feel, borrowing a device from Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and in Jack Black, a star in the superimposing an all-purpose quest for an artifact structure onto a color-saturated backdrop of cube-shaped vegetation, pink sheep, and lax building regulations directed by Napoleon. Dynamite filmmaker Jared Hess, delivering a watered-down version of the nerdcore quirkiness of his Gentleman Bronco era work. The picture follows 4 misfits, orphan siblings Henry Sebastian Hansen and his older sister Natalie Emma Myers, Danielle Brooks, an estate agent, with a mobile zoo and debt-ridden Garrett Jason Momoa, an arcade game champion, whose glory days are long past the fore, are sucked through a portal to the overworld where they meet Steve Black in Minecraft, one of the main playable characters in the film, a purveyor of exposition and overacting the villain, a piglin called Melosa, who hates creativity and is obsessed with hoarding wealth, provides an inadvertently neat allegory for the studio bosses who greenlit this egregious IP, cashing over the past decade or so. The bar for kiddie brand exploiting cinema has risen unexpectedly high. Both the Lego Movie and Barbie utilized cool writing directing talent to push meta self-knowingness to new levels, delivering some great jokes and songs while also saying something meaningful. How do you follow that for a Minecraft movie? As its definite article-avoiding title suggests, the answer is to not even bother trying. This isn't to say it's lacking in energy. It is loud in all senses, from the hideous hot pink of Jason Momoa's tasseled leather jacket to the over-emphatic pantomime delivery of every single Jack Black line. Its brisk running time is rammed with garish, squarish action, taking in such nonsense as a B-52's soundtrack aerial chase scene involving fireball spitting squid balloons and a wrestling match in which Momoa fights a baby zombie riding a chicken director. Jared Hess brings a bit of his Napoleon Dynamite slacker geek vibe to the real world scenes, which are set in the hyper-quirky small town of Chuglass. Meanwhile, the cinematic reskinning of the inherently blocky, graphically challenged video game biome is done as well as you could possibly imagine, though. It would be a push to describe anything you see on Momoa & Co.'s adventures as beautiful. The film might be best described as the visual equivalent of being pelted with boiled sweets. Square-boiled sweets in terms of story and character. You know, the important stuff a Minecraft movie really can't be. Arced, its central MacGuffin is described in an interminable prologue as a cool thingy, while there's no effort to contextualize its world in the way, for example, the Lego and Barbie worlds were inventively presented in relation to ours. It's just there and like whatever, dude, aside from a forgettable and terribly dubbed final number. Its songs are half-baked jingles, and its protagonists are little more than weary archetypes, the bro dude Momoa on his continuing fashion disaster mission, the nerdy but creative kid Sebastian Hansen, the responsible older sibling turnkey sidekick Danielle Brooks, and Jack Black. Or Jack Black, there is at least some evident fan appreciation, such as a cameo by a crown-wearing pig in tribute to YouTuber Technoblade, who died of cancer at the age of 23. But neither this nor the fact that its half-RRC-ness is presented as a comedic choice, like when shabby infant school plays wink at their parent-filled audience. Get it off the hook. Ironically, this blockbuster is more bust than block. This film, directed by Jared Hess, screenplay by Chris Bowman, Hubbel Palmer, Neil Widner, Gavin James, Chris Scaletta, story by Allison Schroeder, Chris Bowman, Hubbel Palmer, produced by Mary Parent, Cale, Roy, John Berg, Jason Momoa, Jill Messick, Tori, Fran Olafsson, starring Jason Momoa, Danielle, Brooks, Sebastian, Hansen, cinematography, Judia, edited by James, Thomas, music by Mark, Mothers Book Production Companies, Warner Brothers. Pictures, Legendary Pictures, Mojang Studios, Vertigo Entertainment, Under Rome, Domain Entertainment, distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. Release dates: March 30th, 2025 in Empire, Leicester Square, April 4th, 2025 in United States, running. Time 101 minutes, United States, needed language, English budget. $150 million box office, $330.7 million. So guys, this is the review of a Minecraft movie and some information about it. How do you like our today's video? Please let us know by commenting. And if you like this video, please like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.